as an international student, what do you have in common with a student in Brazil? Good day, my successful and wonderful international students. I am very, very happy to see you. And as we have said in some of our previous videos, it is very important that we understand that we all international students around the world, we all go through the same experiences. If you remember some of our previous videos, we have been sharing some of the different situations that we all experience. And what is important to know is that you can recognize yourself in other international students' experiences. So today, as you can see on camera, now we have a wonderful guest, and I'm going to be introducing our wonderful guest. Our wonderful guest is Livia Barbosa. I am very, very happy to tell you that she was actually one of my students a few years ago. She's a Brazilian business graduate and global finance professional. She earned her degree in business administration, and she had the wonderful opportunity not only to take several classes with other international students, but she also had the chance to complete a one-semester academic exchange program in Mexico in the year 2023. Her international journey not only went beyond the taking the classes and living in Mexico, because now she's currently working as an IT financial analyst at Mars, Brazil, where she supports global digital operations. She will have the opportunity to tell us about her experience, because also back in Brazil, she's currently doing some volunteering work that I hope you can also tell us about, dear Livia, because she is actually, for the last 2 years, she's been volunteering with a nonprofit organization in Brazil, teaching English to low-income children and teenagers. And some of the images that you have seen are actually images of Livia in her experience in Mexico. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce to you my dear student and friend, our dear Livia Barbosa. How are you, Livia? We're very, very happy to see you.
Hey, teacher. Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you for this opportunity, right? It's always a pleasure talking about a theme that I am, very interested to talk about, especially knowing that it will be shared with other students abroad. And it makes even more special talking about this with a special person and teacher like you. So I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Livia. Thank you. And you know what? There's something I always mention in most of our videos. We tend to believe before we actually begin our trip that our trip is unique. And of course, we all have unique experiences, but we tend to believe nobody goes through what we go through. However, yes, there are over 6 million international students currently around the world. And let me tell you that most of us actually go through the same experiences. And the objective of having guests just like you, successful international students, is to learn from your experience. So we're going to begin this little conversation with one very simple question. We would like to know, first of all, as a former international student, what do you wish you had known, or what do you wish you had done differently before beginning your study abroad program, in this case, the one you did on Mexico?
This is a very interesting and difficult question, because we can, think about different answers for that. But I can focus on two specifically. So just to give you a context, and for those ones that will be watching, I was the first one in the whole university of mine here in Brazil that went to Mexico. So I was like a pilot, if I could say that. So it was the first time that my university was sending a student abroad to Mexico. So I kind of needed to discover a lot of things alone by myself. Of course, that I had this support from this group, a specialized group in my university, but lots of things I needed to experience first. One of that would, I wish I had known about the paperwork, all of the documentation that I needed to prepare to go to that and to get the visa, the Mexican visa, because here in Brazil we need to get the tourism or the student visa to go abroad to Mexico. And it just required a lot of documentation, personal documentation, academic ones, also the paperwork that I needed to send to UNLA, right, to the university that I studied in. So there was a lot. And for that, actually, it was actually one of my personal projects during the exchange. I created this material about everything that a student that would go to Mexico needed to know. And one of the
Wonderful.
main topics was
Wonderful.
about documentation, because I didn't want to see other and future students facing the same challenge that I faced regarding that. So it was one of my personal projects, of course, that
Wonderful.
I didn't focus just on the documentation, that material. I shared a lot of other things about the Mexico culture and so on. But yeah, one of that would be paperwork. I wish
Paperwork.
I had known about that. Yeah.
Very good, very good. And I bet many of the people actually watching this video are going like, yes, I agree with you. I wish I had known absolutely everything that is
Yes.
related to it. And yes. And do you have any other topic that you wish you had maybe gotten more prepared with before your trip?
For sure. I can mention the language, right? So in Mexico, they speak Spanish. And here in Brazil, we speak Portuguese. This is not the same. And, I actually took it for granted, because here in Brazil, we usually tend to think that Spanish and Portuguese are very similar language. So I don't know to learn how to speak Spanish because I already know how to speak Portuguese. No, 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 no. There's a lot of differences and different aspects between the language. So I wish I had had more time to get prepared, to gotten prepared before, because I traveled to Mexico in the beginning of August, and yes, I knew that I would travel like in May,
Okay. All
probably
right.
May, June, July. So I had like 2 to 3 months to get myself prepared, and of course, that the paperwork caught my attention
I see.
during that time. And I didn't had enough time, because of course, at the time I had a lot of responsibilities to do. So
Of
I
course.
was during my internship, I was having classes in the university. I didn't have enough time to prepare myself for the language. So it was definitely something that if I had more time, if I had more time to study in Spanish before traveling to Mexico, it would definitely make a huge different at a
Different.
time. Yes.
I am so glad you mentioned these two areas, these two topics, because the paperwork, it's always surprising to many of us. Also, I have been also an international
Yeah.
student, and I completely agree with you. Even though I started also 6, 8 months before, it just got too overwhelming. It is a point too overwhelming. Sometimes I even tell my students, you should actually feel proud, because if you're already here, that means you already overcame so many challenges related
Yeah.
to the paperwork, but in your case also the language. As I always say in this channel, we do not speak, of course, that language of the country we're moving to most of the
Mm-hmm.
times. So that adds an extra challenge. Perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate, Livia, you sharing these beautiful experiences. And now I will go to the second question, in which actually the viewers of this video can actually learn, because not only from those things you didn't get prepared they can learn, but also I believe there has to be at least 2 or 3 things. It takes me to the second question. Which are those 2 or 3 strategies which you believe helped you succeed abroad and made you a successful international student. As you know, this channel is the Successful International Student because it is a journey that we need to walk. And unfortunately, sometimes we learn with trial error. But now that you have been back, now you're back from your international student experience. Now you're very successful in Brazil. You are already a businesswoman, very successful.
Yeah,
But
officially.
if you could share those two strategies that helped you succeed abroad and become a successful international student.
This is a very good question. Thank you for that. So again, lots of answers, sorry, for that, and lots of strategies. But I think that one of the main important ones would be about getting yourself prepared, right, before traveling to this country. Spend as much time as you can searching about the local culture, about the language, about the behaviors, the values, because this is a period in your life that you realize that you are not alone in the world. I mean, the way that you think and the way that you behave and what you believe, it's not the only thing in the world. There's tons of different ways, different values and behaviors and people, and you need to get yourself prepared for that. So search, and we have internet, right? You have digital workspace and technology in our favor to bring lots of information about a theme. So I think that I didn't do that at the time as much as I could. And I realized that it would be very helpful, so it can be also an answer for the first question.
For the first one, I wish I had known. I wish I had
known more. Yes, because for sure, yeah, this is you need to leave aside all of the generalizations, all of the bias, all of the prejudice that you have in mind about that specific group of people, social group and country. And I think that we as human beings, we used to be afraid of things that we are not sure about, of the unknown, right? So if we get familiar to that, it would be awesome. If you get familiar in advance about the country that you're going and traveling to, I think that it will definitely make a huge difference for you. So once you get there, once you are there, you already familiar. Because, for example, in my personal experience, I needed to deal with this feeling of loneliness when I arrived at. So I feel that I was like, I didn't know anyone from Mexico, right? I didn't encounter any familiar face that I could see and, hey, please help me. I arrived at the airport alone. It was the first time that I was traveling alone by myself, traveling in a plane, being far from my family and friends. So I think that it was very important for me to make this research before going to Mexico, and already starting to find some contacts, some friends in the university, So once you arrive there, you are, you feel safe, you feel more comfortable. Yes.
Correct. Very good. Thank you. So finding out more about this culture you're moving into, that is definitely a strategy that can help you thrive and actually focus in your academics, etc. But I believe you also have a second suggestion, and I love the second one because it has to do with connections and networking. So please share that experience too.
Yeah, so know that this, for me specifically, it was a very emotional, demanding period. So I wish I could take my loved ones with me. So I think that one of the main important things is for you to have this social group that will support you during difficult times, during the challenges. Because again, as I mentioned, a lot of times you're probably feeling alone. You're probably having this, oh my God, what I am doing here alone in the world. I have no one that I made. No one from my family is here. No one from my friends is here. So you need to interact to survive. I think this is a natural characteristic of human beings. So create this social group that will support you. So it can be virtually, of course, that you can, keep in chat and touch with your family and friends, but try to interact with as many people as you can once you are there, because you are gonna need them. You're gonna need them. And I think that it can be hard for the introverts probably, but
Right.
this will be something, the social aspect is very important for us to survive in the world. And this is not different once you are traveling abroad, right? Especially if you are traveling alone, like
Right.
myself.
I,
Yes.
I actually have a follow-up question related to this one, Livia, because one of the
Mhm.
biggest challenges for many international students is that the networking and the connection. And as you said, for many people who may consider themselves introverts, it's not easy. How did you do it? Like give us some real examples of how you were able to find your group, find your tribe, as I always say, when you were abroad.
This is a very good question because, especially during the first month, I didn't feel that I was part of the groups, but especially because I didn't know how to talk the local language. So, again, the importance of getting prepared in terms of language, because you need to speak to interact, and to interact to, I mean, to survive again in this new environment, in this
Correct.
new scenario, you need to interact. So I think that one of the important tips that I would have again is about the language, because you need to express yourself somehow, right? You need to express people what you are feeling, what are your fears, what you are, dealing with, because this is a brand new experience. Everything is new. So again, the local language. um, I also found a very good support on the teachers. So I'm not sure
Very
if
good.
every student, of course, is student, right? But sometimes you just have this personal travel to other country. But as we're talking to students, please find a teacher that you have more, common with. I found I had the privilege of having so many teachers, so amazing teachers, including teacher Ada, that I could share these experiences while I was going through that, right? And I remember that Diego, for example, from UNLA, no,
Our Director
Diego,
of
uh,
International Academic Mobility. Thank you.
yes, we are still friends. Sometimes I still trouble him with some message on WhatsApp, but he functioned as like a bridge for me. He was like, hey, this is Livia. Hey, help me, welcome Livia. This is our Brazilian student. And he was like a bridge for me during that period. So I think that teachers would definitely,
Right.
treat you very kindly, right, at that period as well.
This example and this strategy you're just sharing is something I always share also with international students in these videos. Find a person, usually in the international student department, because that will be actually
Yes.
the key to connect with other people. Very good, Livia. I thank you so much for sharing your experiences. I know you're very busy with us. Is there any final comment, any final suggestion you would like to make to our international students from around the world?
Oh, for sure. I think just accept this challenge and go. This would be definitely the I think that the most transformational experience that you're gonna face in your life. It will definitely develop you in several ways, or not just academically, but personally, professionally. You're gonna have lots of opportunities afterwards. So just accept it. And of course, that I will be here if you need anything, and teacher Ada as
Oh,
well with this podcast, right?
thank you, Livia. We appreciate your visit so much. I think all international students from all around the world, regardless of whatever country they have decided to move abroad to or where to live their international student experiences, I am sure they can learn a lot from your own experiences. Well, I really appreciate you being our guest. It's been an honor to have you with us. For now, I'm going to say goodbye, but I am sure we're going to connect again one day in the future. So thank you very much, Livia. It's been a great pleasure having you. And let me then just remind everyone that it's very important for you to recognize yourself in different students and different international students from around the world. You will always find similar experiences also, no matter if you're in Canada, in Australia, in the US, in France, in the UK. We all go through the same. You're not alone. But do not forget that it's not only about studying abroad. It is also about learning how to thrive abroad. Remember that I believe in you. Remember, you've got this. And I will see you in one of our next episodes. Ciao.